Hello, welcome to IT Chronicles 10 in Tech, coming to you from Knowledge 17. I'm Shane Carlson. I'm here with my co-host, Kirstie Magowan, and we've got Brian Uhelski here with us from Accorio. We're going to talk to him a little bit here about what Accorio is doing with ServiceNow in the market. Brian, tell us a little bit about Accorio and what you guys have been doing in the space lately.
Sure, Shane. So Accorio, we are 100% focused on ServiceNow. That's all we do. We're a cloud consultancy, and we're really focused on just enabling the platform. We tend to have 5 different service areas. We focus solely on deployment, and then helping set the vision and the strategy. So those advisory services, those 2 are really key, because if you don't have that, then it's ready, fire, aim, right? Yeah. We have a training component. We also build integrations, which is really key when you've got a platform that spans so much across the enterprise. You have to have that interconnectivity with the ancillary systems and those point solutions that still are very vital to the enterprise. And then we have a support solution that's really unique in the industry. It's a Accorio virtual assistance. It's Ava. So that's really it. For us, it's keeping it focused on you do one thing, you do it really well, and then you just deliver and rinse and repeat.
Understand.
Very good. So earlier we had Britt Champeau from ServiceNow. I understand you've been doing a bit of work with Britt on the champion side of things. So where do you fit into that picture?
So anybody who's been in the ServiceNow ecosystem, even for a small amount, the community is vital, right? Yep. Community it's so important because that's really where all of the true knowledge and all of the true, all the secret sauce is, right? Because it's everybody who's using it every day. They live in it. And I was drawn to that because, day in and day out as the sales guy for the Southeast, for me, I want to make sure that my customers are able to make the right decisions, and that really means communicating the value to the rest of the organization. If they can't do that, we can do that for them to some extent, but a lot of times the message has to come from within.
Yeah. Otherwise there's no ownership.
There really isn't.
They don't feel like they own part of that. It's something someone else did for them. And once you get them to own that message and live with that, they feel that sense that they need to do something with it, which I think is great.
Absolutely. And it's funny because you get people that have they have this desire to do this, but they just don't have enough hours in the day. And what the Champion Enablement Program really has enabled is it's taken a lot of that heavy lifting off of their plate and provided a standardized deck of tools and templates and talking points and very key messaging that depending upon where that organization is in their in their evolution, they can be very strategic in how they utilize that. So now instead of having to be a sales and marketing arm within IT, they can really focus on what is it we need to what is the value to the end customer that we're trying to help. And it enables them to do that much faster. So, it's all time to value.
Yeah. So Accorio has been a partner for a little while now, and been in the partner space for a while, and kind of I would say one of the earlier full service partners that was dedicated to the ServiceNow platform. As you see the partner space kind of expand and some of the players in the market get acquired and other things, how do you guys feel about what ServiceNow is referring to as co-opetition in the market?
Sure.
All of the various partners working together. How's that working out for you guys?
It's good. I think competition is co-opetition even is great for the ecosystem, and to see it expand tells us that we've been making the right choices all along, and it just reinforces the vision that we've had. For us, it's the market's very good at distinguishing expertise and advertising and knowing the difference between the two. And so, we tend to let our customers and our results speak for ourselves, and tend not to focus so much on the gloss and the glitz, but really on the results, and just kind of keep our head down and head focused. We've got a great leadership team, and we've got a fantastic group of people that, as being the largest gold services partner that's solely focused on the platform, it enables us to have a really good perspective on where things are going compared to where they've been, because most of the folks there have been living and breathing it for 10 plus years. So it's nice to bring that kind of perspective and then be able to deploy and add value to the platform in a way that's unique to us.
Yeah, I definitely say Accorio always makes a presence at the conferences, almost always sharply dressed, showing up in the tuxedos and the ball
Even
gowns.
a little bit more,
So yeah, it's good to see you guys here at the show and doing well. Kirstie?
Yeah. So what about the announcements that have been made today around the intelligent automation and that sort of things? How do you react to those? What's your opinion on?
I think it's fascinating. It's super exciting. Anytime you see, you talk about things as they're going to be in the future, and it's really it's being spoken in present tense. We're at a really neat tipping point.
We are.
I think that. I think we're hard pressed to see the way that ServiceNow has evolved as anything more than we hear that fourth wave mentioned a lot, right?
Yes.
It's very much like that next evolution of what ERP was 20, 25 years ago, and we're really seeing that now that it's going outside of IT and the branding and messaging are starting to talk in a way that business can relate to. It's making it much easier to have a conversation that's very holistic.
Yeah.
And to me, as a sales guy, my job really isn't sales, it's more education. And it's so much easier to educate when we're all talking the same language. So, when I hear automation and when I hear all of those things, in talking about all the positives that come from that and not this, this evil specter of doom, that tells me that we're in the right place right now. And there's no more exciting place to be than right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, this is a huge event every year. I mean, and getting bigger every time. So what's the key thing that you take out of an event like this? What's your best takeaway from a?
I think part of it's twofold. One of it is reinforcing that the decisions we've been making are the right ones. It's my decision to come into the ecosystem was the right one, and our decision as an organization has been just with we're doing the right things. Even more importantly, I think it's having a very positive outlook for the industry, and knowing that the competition and the way things are evolving, it's only going to get better, which means it's going to get better for the end user, and which I think that it just feeds on itself. So we're passionate and we're excited and we're kind of geeky that way, but to me that's one person's geek is another person's it means we're doing the right things.
Perfect. Yeah, I absolutely agree. So what else are you guys doing that you're really excited about right now? I mean, I see a lot of passion coming from you here, but what gets you up in the morning and keeps you going every day with what you're doing with Accorio?
My boss has a big whip to crack. That's part of it.
That always helps.
It really, I think anytime you can develop around a platform, and they've made it a lot easier to do that. When you can take creative people and then give them just an unbridled license to say, go and you hear from customers. In fact, I was having a conversation today with the person that's running the automation platform, or all of these things we're just talking about. And he says, look, we look for the partners to develop these solutions that are, only going to fit maybe 20%. We can only develop for ones that are going to hit for 80%. And the partner ecosystem has to fill that gap. That's a ton of people. And that's a ton of use cases that tells us that there's going to be enough ability for everybody to participate. It's, we're at an interesting time right now.
Absolutely. It's a very exciting time to be in the space. Thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
It was a lot of
Appreciate
fun.
it.
It's been great to talk.